Hi, thanks for joining me on this time-lapse recording. Today I'll be drawing Rogue in Clip Studio Paint on my S23 Ultra phone. Now, normally I narrate about the drawing process and my choices throughout the sketch. However, it occurred to me that you most likely clicked on this video because you either have a phone you draw on or you're interested in getting a phone like this for drawing. So I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about what it's like to draw on a phone and some tips and tricks I've picked up. I've been drawing on a phone since 2019 on a Note 10, and there's a few quirks and a few things I've learned since then. The biggest thing to address is that screen size. Now, most flagship phones that come with a stylus are pretty big phones, but even still, you're dealing with drawing on a dramatically smaller screen size, especially if you're used to drawing on a drawing display, tablet, or a sketchbook. This was my number one concern when considering spending the money on a phone with a stylus. I wasn't sure how comfortable I would be to draw on something with a smaller surface area. My fear being that I would pay all of this money to buy a premium phone that was more of a gimmick than something useful. Luckily, that's not the case. To be clear, it is an adjustment to draw on a smaller screen, but it's not as dramatic as you may think. Your hand quickly gets used to working the workable area of your phone. I find myself zooming in and out of my canvas more often on my phone than I do on my other devices, but it's an easy way to compensate for that screen real estate. The trade-off is worth it. The real appeal of having a phone you can draw with is that you have that digital arsenal wherever you are. And you can only achieve that with a smaller screen size. Now, I can practically hear you asking about folding phones. They're small, portable, but open up to a larger screen size. Perfect for drawing. I'm excited by them too, but I have two main issues with them that prevent me from buying one. First, that crease. Now, from a visual standpoint, I actually think the crease is fine. I don't mind it, and it kind of disappears from your brain after looking at it for a bit. My issue is when you have to drag your pen across that surface. You will hit that crease, and it will affect your lines. Now, there are some things that software can do to compensate for that, but one thing it cannot compensate for is the tactile feedback you will get in your hand from drawing over that crease. This is a huge hurdle to get over. The second is that none of the folding phones to date have an integrated pen. Yes, there are cases that carry your stylus with you, but a folding phone is bulky already as it is, and even with a case, I guarantee you will lose that pen somewhere. The integrated slot on a Samsung Note or Ultra device, for example, makes a world of difference. Your pen is a part of your device and not an accessory. It changes the nature of the experience. Like something as simple as your phone buzzing a notification if your pen is too far away has saved me from misplacing my pen so many times and just made me appreciate the device all the more. So no, folding phones aren't it. At least not yet, but hopefully they will be at some point. Until then, the best option for drawing on your phone is something like this device. And let me tell you, I have, without exaggeration, drawn on this thing everywhere. I've been in lineups where I'm fighting off boredom with a quick sketch, drawn in a car, subway, airplane, waiting for my coffee order, and even use it on the beach under some shade. Just relaxing and doing some digital painting. It really is awesome, and those fears that I'd only drawn it once or twice were never really realized. Now, that said, I do want to talk about how you draw with this on the go. For instance, in the lineup example, I had to hold the phone in my hand while drawing on it. That is not the most comfortable way to draw. It can be a little fatiguing on your hand for longer than 10 to 15 minutes. Ideally, you'd be resting this phone on something for a longer drawing session. In a situation like the subway where you're seated but don't have a table, I find it's best to put your backpack or your bag on your lap and then rest your phone on top. This allows your screen to be slightly closer to your eyes so you're not squinting to make out button icons or something. Trying to draw with your phone on your lap, it's just too far away from your eyes. It could just be me. I do wear glasses, but I feel like I can't make out the details from that distance. Now, let's talk about that screen. Most phones are going to have a very slick and smooth screen, which means your pen is going to slide across that screen like butter. This can be a problem, especially if you're used to drawing on paper where the grit of the surface changes the way your hand moves. In fact, that grit is a great thing because it allows you to have more refined control of your pen strokes. The paper surface is offering resistance that your hand relies on to control your pen movement. Some display tablets will have special coatings to give that kind of feedback on the screen. Your phone screen will not have that since they're meant for more general use and not specifically for artwork. There are some screen protectors that are designed to have a paper-like texture. They do dull the colors and vibrancy of your screens, but not to an extreme degree. I mean, not to a level that I truly care about. However, I do not use them because of a different reason. For whatever reason, these textured screen protectors chew up the nibs of my S Pen. I'm not sure if the issue is that the plastics of the nibs are too soft or the teeth in the screen textures are too severe, but drawing on these surfaces always wear down my nubs in a matter of days, versus the years it would normally take to wear them down. Yeah, you can buy replacement nibs fairly cheaply, but the act of having to replace them so often is really annoying, especially if you're on the go. So I would caution on using them at your own risk. Side note, yes, screen protectors work with the pen. They do not interfere with the digital input at all, and I've even used those ultra thick glass-like protectors without any issues. One downside of the integrated pen is the form factor of the pens. They are pretty small and thin, and you may be wondering what it's like to draw with them. For the most part, they're great. The entire S Pen lineup uses Wacom EMR tech, so they are fantastic for drawing. I would say they are the best stylus tech out there, including the Apple Pencil. However, that form factor is not great for extended drawing sessions. Your hands will cramp up after long periods of use. They're perfect for that quick sketch when you're out or painting on your phone while you're waiting for your friends to show up at the bar. But if you had to draw longer than 30 minutes, you would want to take a break. This is a good example of use case. The integrated pen is perfect for that on-the-go drawing. But if you're at a desk or at home or you're planning to sit for a long period of time, it's probably a good idea to get a full-size S Pen to draw when you're at home or at your art studio. The other thing that you might be concerned about if you're on the fence about using a phone for drawing is the app ecosystem. 5 years ago, the art app scene generally kinda sucked. Since then, both iOS and Android apps have seen a dramatic improvement in the number of art apps available and their overall quality. I think Clip Studio Paint, which is what I'm using here in this time-lapse, is hands down the best drawing app available. It's a fully featured and robust app that the creators are constantly supporting and improving. The only downside is that subscription fee. While not extreme, any subscription kind of means you have to think about whether your digital drawing is a hobby that you're going to dabble in, or if it's something that you're willing to put a little bit more money into. If you're not about that subscription fee, an app I'd recommend is Infinite Painter. This is an app that has a ton of great features, simple to use AI, and best of all, an affordable one-time fee. I have a video where I review the app in much more detail, so if you're interested in learning more, I'd check that video out. So yeah, there are my thoughts on drawing on your phone and some things to consider if you're interested. I know I barely talked about this sketch in front of us, and I'm very sorry about that, but I hope that I gave some useful tidbits for you. If you have any questions about anything I talked about or this sketch, feel free to drop me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs button. If you want to see more, hit that subs. Until next time, keep drawing.